Campfire at night where the wild dingoes call.
Well, it's just a tourist trap, but what the heck? It looks interesting.
Than to stand in the bar of a pub with no beer. It's lonesome away.
A few wall murals in Alice Springs does establish a bit of a outback image. They're well done, and it's a shame there's not 50 or 100 of them scattered around the town to give it a presence.
Oh, it's lonesome away from your kindred and home, by the campfire at night when the wild dingoes call. But there's nothing so lonesome, morbid or drear, than to stand in the bar of the pub with no beer.
I had a friend who worked for a number of years as a camel driver in Alice Springs, taking tourists for camel trips. It's a big tourist business.
The barmaid's gone cranky, the cook's acting queer. It's a terrible place.
When you arrive by train, you're met by this statue of a camel. The Ghan supposedly followed the original camel trail between Adelaide and Darwin.
But there's nothing so lonesome, morbid or drear, than to stand in
They
the
do
bar
have
of
camel
the
races
pub with no beer.
in the Oval in Alice Springs.
Oh, the Stockton rides up with his dry, dusty throat, breasts up.
I stayed with a friend in Alice Springs. The hotels are not that much to write about. Here's a typical sort of motor motel.
Sadly, the pub's got no beer. Then the swaggy runs in.
A downtown shopping mall. At least it's air conditioned.
The sweat from his eyes. But when he is told,
Again, the shopping mall.
travel 50 bloody miles to a pub with no beer.
Most tourists don't see a lot of the Aboriginal culture, and it's not really well promoted at all, although there is Aboriginal art shows and shops, and of course didgeridoos. Let's have a look at some photographs of Aboriginals.
I'll believe the blacksmith, first time in his life, has gone in cold sailor to his darling wife. He walks into the kitchen, she says,
"You're early, my dear."
Then he breaks down and he tells her the pub's got no beer. There's a dog on the veranda, for his master he waits, but the boss is inside, drinking wine with his
Aboriginals do earn money by putting on native dances for the tourists.
in fear, it's no place for a dog round the pub with no beer. It's lonesome away from your kindred and all, by the campfire at night where the wild dingoes call. But there's nothing so lonesome, morbid or drear, than to stand in the bar of a pub with no beer. It's lonesome away from your kindred and all, by the campfire at night where the wild dingoes call. But there's nothing so lonesome, morbid or drear, than to stand in the bar of a pub with no beer.
Albert Namatjira, who died in 1959, was quite a famous Aboriginal artist.
By the campfire
One of his paintings follows.
But there's nothing so lonesome.
I must admit, I wouldn't mind a few of his paintings myself. They are stunning.
The publican's anxious for his quota to come. There's a faraway look on
The Todd River flows right through the centre of Adelaide. During the summer it's totally dried up, and a large Aboriginal community camps there. When I was there during the winter months of July and August, it quite often floods, and the Aboriginals moved to higher ground. Here's the bridge over the Todd.
But there's nothing so lonesome, morbid or drear, than to stand in the bar of a pub with no beer. Oh, the stockman rides up with his dry, dusty throat, breasts up to the bar, pulls a wad from his coat. But the smile
Some Aboriginals are very good at carving, and you may be lucky and pick up a native carving.
Then the swaggy rolls in, covered in dust and
This
fire.
building has an Aboriginal mosaic design.
But when he is told, he says, "What's this
A
I hear?
didgeridoo's for sale.
250 bloody miles to a pub with no beer."
Aboriginal art is big business, and it's bought usually from the very small settlements in the interior.
But there's nothing so lonesome, morbid or drear, than to stand in the bar of a pub.
There are some tourist displays set up to acquaint tourists with the Aborigines. This one is about the emu and how Aboriginals hunt and cook them. We've essentially focused on the town of Alice Springs. The outback beckons, and it's probably a good idea to get out of town as fast as possible. However, don't be like Peter Warburton and go out in midsummer when it's extremely hot.
Then he breaks down and he tells her the pub's got no beer.
This is the body of a dead camel, or it could be a kangaroo. It looks like a camel. Quite often people perish in the heat from lack of water. The very dry desert climate preserves old motor vehicles, and their bodies can be found in the desert.
But there's nothing so lonesome, morbid or drear, than to stand in the bar of a pub with no beer. It's lonesome away from your kindred and home, by the campfire at night where the wild dingoes call.
The red sandy soil of the outback.
Morbid or drear, than to stand in the bar of a pub with.
Thanks, dear viewer, for joining me on this quick tour of Alice Springs. Have a good day, mate.
By the campfire at night